Hi, I'm Mike Fine, and in this video I'm going to walk you through how to play Sweet Home Chicago. There's a number of things that we're going to go through in this tune, and I'm going to start you off with the most basic version. This is a blues, and we're playing this blues in the key of E. Now oftentimes all of these chords would be dominant chords, meaning like you'd have an E7, an A7, and a B7. In this version of the tune we're going to start with an E major instead of an E7. When we add in the traveling pinky, that actually gets in the D note, which would be the dominant seventh from the E7 chord. So for now we're just going to stick with that E major chord. So E major, we got our second and third fingers there on the second fret of the fourth and fifth strings. Then I tuck my first finger in here on the first fret of the third string. Then to play A7, instead of using my first and second fingers, I'm going to use my second and third fingers, which are already on that second fret, and they just need to move down. So they're going to be on the second and fourth strings, and I'm going to pluck from the fifth string down, or sorry, strum from the fifth string down. There's A7, and then I'm back to E. The last four bars are the toughest because you're switching every measure. You go to a B7, which is second fret on the first, third, and fifth string, and first finger on first fret of the fourth string. And again, that's a fifth string on down strum. That's B7, down to A7, to E major. And then I end on the B7 again. And back to E. Okay, so those last four bars, try to find those common movements. So here's my B7. I move down to get to A7. And then back up, E major. And then these two fingers switch places basically. That goes up, that goes down, and pinky gets added. And then back to E. Okay. Then the next thing I want to deal with is the strumming pattern. I like to do the blues strumming pattern, so it's strum, 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 do, dee, do, dee, do, dee, do, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And it's not a straight feel. It's not down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. It's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, or long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. So if I put that in context, it sounds like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I'm going to play it with the tune. You'll notice the first chord goes for 4 bars. So I'm going to try to count those out to make sure that you can kind of feel where those measures are changing. So right from the beginning, 4 bars of E, 2 bars of A7, 2 bars of E, and then the sequence at the end, B7, A7, E, B7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. '" The traveling pinky is the next thing that I'm going to add to this tune, and I think the book does a pretty good job of explaining how to play it. My first chord is going to be my E chord. Okay, so I'm going to play it once, just normal E. Then I'm going to add in my pinky on the second string, second fret, and then I'm going to slide it up to the same string, but now the third fret, and back, and then open. Alright, so on the E chord it's regular E, add the pinky, slide it up, slide it back. then leave it open. Okay? So one time around on the E, and then it would repeat. When I do that on the A7 chord, I grab my A7, then I add my pinky on the first string, 2nd fret, slide it up, and back, and then open. Okay, so that sequence is okay, so it's very similar to the E. Now the B7 is a little bit different. I grab my B7 and I'm just going to slide my pinky up and back and up and back. And that's all I do on the B7. Okay, so in order, I got my E, I switch to my A, back to E, now I'm on my last line of music, B7, A7, and E. And then instead of doing the traveling pinky on that last B7, I like to just play regular B7. Okay, so that last line is and we're back to home base. There's a really nice ending that you can do on this tune, and basically what you do is take a D7 shape, which is this, okay, and you slide it up 1, 2 frets, so you're actually going to be first finger on the 3rd fret, and you're just going to play those bottom 3 strings. Slide it back, slide it back, and then you grab your E chord. So again, it's a D7 shape, up 2 frets, so the first finger is on the 3rd fret. Oops. And if you want to make that a little fancier, I kind of like doing something like this where I'll pluck the 3rd string and then pluck the first 2. That's a more interesting sound, and it's really the same fingering position. And one more time, so it's 3rd, 1 and 2, 3rd, 3rd, 1 and 2, 3rd, 3rd, 1 and 2, 3rd, E chord. last thing I'm going to go through here is the power chord bass line. And so what I'm going to basically play is a power chord, which is the root and fifth of the chord. So the first chord's an E, right? There's my E bass note. And I'm going to add in a B note, which is there. So I'm going to play them together. And then I'm going to actually alternate between the sixth of the chord, which in this case is a C sharp. And I'm going to keep my first finger down, so I'm just going to place it and then add it. Alright. And for the A chord, I'm going to move down one string and play the same thing. I'm going to play 1 and 4, which is the A note, its fifth, which is an E, and then alternating to the sixth, which is this F sharp. And I'm just going to strum through the fourth and fifth string. And then back to the E. Okay. Now the B, when I have it going B7 to A7, I'm going to play 2nd fret on the 5th string, and then 4th fret on the 4th string. Alright? And I like to add a little descending line. I think that sounds cool, so that's B. And then I switch back to my A chord. Then I end it with my E chord again. And when I have the B chord not going to A, I just go into my B position, which is 2nd fret, 4th fret, like that. And so then that last line of music is my B chord,